Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Trigger Time. I was sitting here and I felt like talking about guns, and can't get away to the gun shop right now to shoot shit. And it's a little early in the day to do a live chat with everybody, so I thought I'd go ahead and do an episode of Trigger Time, talk about guns. Specifically, I want to talk a little bit about some what I consider old school guns and whether or not they are viable options for defense or hunting purposes. Specifically, the two I was talking about was I've got my Model 65 Taurus, which is just a pretty standard double action 357 Magnum revolver, shoots 38 special as well. Obviously, 4.5-inch barrel. I mean, pretty standard. It's basically an identical clone of a Smith and Wesson Model 65. And then the other one I want to talk about was this right here. This is my Rossi Model 92. Just a copy of an old Model 92 from back in the day. Lever action, again, 38 special, 357 Magnum, stainless, walnut stock. Are these guns viable options for, let's start with defensive purposes? Let's look at this one, for instance. Comparing it to most modern guns today, a lot of the first thing you're going to think of, compare it to a Glock, right? Glock's lighter, a little bit less cumbersome, slightly smaller, I believe, and obviously has much more capacity. And the Glock is a very, very simple tool, simple mechanism. There's actually less moving parts in a Glock than there are in one of these revolvers. Um, uh, but I do firmly believe this is still a very viable option for a defensive tool. Home defense, self-defense, concealed carry even. I mean, there is no denying the tried and true design of this gun right here, okay? People to this very day still use revolvers, and I hate it when I hear people say that this is not a good option for defensive tool. It absolutely, hands down, is. There's a reason why millions of people still use these, okay? Yes, I'll be the first one to say I'm a capacity whore, and absolutely, you should get the most amount of ammo in your gun as possible. Go with the highest capacity possible, but that doesn't erase the fact that for some people this is just a better choice, budget wise, or just with what they're comfortable with, whatever. And they shouldn't be afraid of that. It's still a really, really good choice for defensive purposes. Um, Same thing with this, in my opinion, guys. Is this an AR-15? No, but it is a small, short, lightweight carbine that will hold either 10 rounds of 38 or 8 rounds of 357, and that will put a hurt on somebody. No, it's not a 30-round mag. And yes, there are better options out there. But I mean, look at it this way. I mean, if you're going with a shotgun for home defense, you've actually got more rounds in this than you have in your shotgun, more than likely. Anyway, you're dealing with 5, 6, or 7 shots max usually. So there's a lot of advantages to these guns, and these things are accurate as well. That kind of brings me into the hunting thing. Are these good hunting tools? Well, I'll tell you this. I put a deer down with this, and I keep this on my side if, in case a hog or something gets too close to me when I go hunting. So I absolutely think this is a good hunting tool right here. Um, Also, this right here, absolutely. I mean, we're talking basically a 22-inch barrel here where you can load up some 357 or 38 special. Coming out of a barrel like this, that's going to do some damage. I've popped off a 4-inch plate several times at 100 yards with this right here with some 357 Magnum. It is an accurate gun. I mean, this is something you could take deer hunting with you or hog hunting if you wanted to. Is it the optimal choice? Okay, no. I mean, this is not a 308 or a 30-06, but would it work? Absolutely, hands down. 357 is a great round, especially loaded up with something like this. This is what I keep in the handgun for when I go hunting. This is the 140 grain 357 Hornady lever revolution stuff. Great ammo. Really, really accurate stuff. I mean, point blank, guys, these are great tools. These are great tools for defense. These are great tools for hunting, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid of something like this. Sometimes an old lever action or an old revolver is all a budget will allow, or it's just what you're comfortable with. Don't let people talk you down from that, because these are still fantastic guns that do what you need them to do when you need it to do it. So that's basically it, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So questions, comments, leave all that stuff down below. And other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. We will talk to you later. Thanks.